You're gonna walk out of the lobby.
I think we can.
So
I think they'll understand.
we'll start.
Doing this
And I printed them in color because this is where my gives passion comes into play. This right here, okay?
Were you giving us this stuff so we can look at it?
Yeah, but it has the giant gives logo, and if it was in black and white, it wasn't as good. So. Can you take one? Oh wait, it's 2 pages. Take 2 pages. I'm sorry, I didn't print it back to back or front back. So take 2 pages and then pass it. Oh, you right there. Thank you. Thank you. Is it live? Yeah. Oh, hi! Okay, so 31 fundraisers. Basically, on this sheet, it talks about why doing a fundraiser. Does anybody tell me why they would want to do a fundraiser? Okay.
Family in need.
Family in need. Sporting events. Schools need money for field trips, things like that. Earn a PV for incentive. We have, those dreaded J months. Dreaded J months are a great time to do fundraisers because you're going to be guaranteed that PV for those dreaded J months, and you're still doing something kind of amazing, actually really amazing. So you're going to make a difference. I'm going to share the power of the 31 gifts. Okay, they can really boost your PV, especially during incentive earning periods or during slow months, and they can bring you a whole new avenue of customers. You are going to reach more people through fundraisers than you ever thought possible because your name is going to spread amongst a ton of other people and you're going to create new contacts. So how to find a group for fundraising? Family, friends, word of mouth, putting your ear to the ground. If you go to a hair salon, which everybody does, talk to a hairstylist. Pretty sure she knows somebody. My mom owns a hair salon, so pretty sure somebody's going to be able to tell you of a family that's in need. Facebook, it's always out there. Somebody's sick, somebody's in the hospital, they don't have medical bills, somebody needs money for school or dance or whatever. Your kids' activities in schools, and your own passions and charities. Yes?
Also, if you see people having bake sales or standing outside of Walmart looking for money, those are good people to ask, buy something, and then ask who the coordinator is and get in touch with them too. Right. That's a good idea. Car washes, get your car washed, and then find out who the coordinator is.
Because you can give them a lot more. You can get them a lot more money than a car wash can give them. So, okay. So the different types of fundraisers. Now it comes down to picking the fundraiser, and this all depends on how many people are involved in your fundraiser and how much money you really want to raise. So, 31 days of 31 is not best for small groups of people, but there's squares, which does work for this. You just sell off a square. I have some of those, but I didn't print them because I don't know them as well. I don't see them working for me as well. So 31 days of 31 squares, 100 tickets. 100 tickets is really easy. You just sell off 100 tickets and then only one person. And then it's like a percentage of those 100 tickets gets put in as a gift. But I turn it into products purchased. Whole catalog, which I kind of frown upon only because you're giving up your PV and it just gets really messy. Specific item sales, so large utility totes when they're on special, sell them for full price across the board. They're $35. The leftover money from that, so if they're $10, you buy one, you get the second one for the $10. That $25 is then going to go to the family. Okay, and then use your monthly specials. Specific item sales is different, but it's still kind of the same thing. So
explain the 100 ticket thing again.
100 tickets is you have like a days, like a days sheet, and you sell off a ticket for each day. Like everybody buys a day. And there's only 100, or everybody buys a square or 100, but there's 100 of them, and you can buy a square and only one winner wins. And you cut that pot in half. So half the pot goes to the family or whatever organization, the other half goes to that person. Hey, you won $200 in a shopping spree. So it works, but it's not going to give you as much.
So kind of 50-50 raffle.
Kind of, but
Except for they win product instead of money.
yeah, you got to be really careful when you're doing it because
It's
gambling
considered
laws.
gambling.
Yeah.
So you really want to make sure you're not the money transfer is not there. Okay, keep commission versus donating. My opinion is keep commission. As we're not doing it just for
Right.
kicks here. We're doing it for something. We're trying to get some money. So, but is this cause truly meaning to you? Can you afford to give up your commission, and how much can you afford? So if you do like a full catalog fundraiser, what I do is I'll say, we had this conversation, that it goes in tiers. So if it's a $200 to $500 party, you'll give them 10% commission. If it's a $500 party to $700 party, you give them 15. And then you just keep going up until you get to your 25% commission. But they're going to give you over $1,000 party, then you give up that 25. As directors, it's a little bit easier, or as senior consultants, it's a little bit easier because you're also making commission you're making that additional commission off of your team and off of your own sales. So you're not giving up your full commission, but it's a good chunk of it. So, okay. Ethics. This is really important, okay? This is not just important for within fundraising, but it's important across the board, and Heather is going to talk about it a little bit more later, but ethics.
Just be ethical.
Just be ethical. No, okay, putting in the work. This is the ethics part. Fundraisers are a lot of work. Not going to beat around the bush. It is a lot of work. However, they are very rewarding and can pay off big time in the long haul. Just remember, it's okay to ask for help. I'm always willing to help you, and so are other directors. But it is not okay to steal someone's hard work, okay? So I'm going to give you his files. Please don't take them word for word and take my image and do exactly this, because this is mine. Take it and tweak it to make it your own, just like any party, okay? So make sure that you put in your own hard work. Many of your 31 sisters, including me, will happily help you rock your fundraisers. It's not okay to accept them to hand over their work or have them do it all for you. So you can't just be like, can you do the calendar for me? Okay, I'll do, and have me put together the calendar and make the tickets and do all of that, and then you walk away with it. It kind of hurts my heart a little bit because I've put a lot of work into them. And it's actually but at the same time, it's kind of easy to do it. Okay, yeah. Okay, and then poaching. This also goes as a consultant. We should never poach on anybody else, but this is not just for fundraisers, it's for all aspects of our business. If you know someone that is working with another consultant, back off. So if you know that somebody's working on a fundraiser with somebody or has a consultant and you hear them talk about fundraisers, you should really get in touch with Rachel. I'm sure she'd be really happy to help you with the fundraisers. And if you know Rachel, reach out to her and be like, Rachel, Susie really wants to do a fundraiser. You should really contact her. That's as a sister, that's the right thing to do. We run into that at vendor shows often. It's like, oh, who's your consultant? Carrie and Megan. It's like, oh, of course it is.
And they're like, oh, she really do a party soon. So
And then we write it down on the thing, or we send her a text.
So and so.
Because we can't,
I will.
we don't want to swoop in and take that away. So that's kind of that in a nutshell. Never are we to steal customers, recruits, parties, or fundraisers. Remember, we are here to celebrate, encourage, and reward each other. Okay, so that's Fundraising 101. Does anybody have any questions about any of the other fundraisers before I dive into my
Your pride and joy.
my pride and joy?
This is Jenica's baby.
So then I have a question about the squares. I know you said the 100 tickets, you just $1 per ticket for the 100 tickets? Or does it depend on?
It depends on how much you're looking to raise, and we're going to kind of go over math.
All right.
And the math kind of works across the board.
The others.
Yeah. Take one and pass. Yeah. Take one and pass that. Yeah.
if they wanna see another version, I have mine in the first upstairs.
Okay. And then this is 3. So you're gonna take 3 pages. Just 1, 2, 3.
And then, just as a side note, if you're in Pennsylvania, there is a small games and chance license that you can get, if you feel so led. It's like $125 for small games for an entire year.
Which is 2.
So you guys know, and they have a one-time event one, but I think it's like $75. So it's almost worth it just to do the whole year.
One of these, then this next one coming around is 3.
So you have to have that.
You don't have to, and I'm gonna kind of talk about that a little bit. It kind of just depends on your wording. You can get really fancy with wording, and it doesn't apply. This one's 2. Yep, 2.
Jen, I guess I just have to get the first one when it comes back.
What?
I just have to get the first one when it comes back. I have.
Seller's guide?
No, she needs the
Here, Ellen.
cover letter. Okay. The
I
cover
have the
letter
seller's
that-
guide and I have the 31 days one, one map. And
She
the,
needs these two.
right here.
The cover letter.
Oh, the cover letter and the,
Cover letter and the ticket.
calendar.
I guess in the calendar, yes. Thank you. I didn't realize I missed both.
Scooch in with us, for your chair round.
Is it 4?
There's the, so the first one we're gonna do is,
You can bring your chair.
Is this one 3?
so the first one we're gonna do is seller's guide in a nutshell, your fundraiser in a
This
nutshell.
one's 3. I'm ready. now.
Seller's guide, fundraiser,
coming.
sorry. Just come around.
This one's 2. Oh my.
One's 2.
Oh.
No, that one's 3.
Is it?
2.
Seller's guide is 2.
Oh. That's the other one.
This is 31, this is it.
I got it. Have the seller's guide.
Seller's guide's 2, math is 3.
Yes.
Actually, let's do the cover letter. We'll do the 31 days of 31 cover letter first.
Did you add independent director under the logo, or is it there?
There's
It's
one
there.
page level.
So 31 days of 31, this is my cover letter. This is what I give to basically the person who's going to be in charge of helping me run the fundraiser, all right? So at the very top, I'm going to tell a little bit about myself and our business and what 31 is. And then right below that next paragraph, that's about a family that I'm going to be, the family that we're doing it for. So in this case, it was for the Gilbert family. I've known this family
Are you looking at this
most-
page?
31 days of 31. Yes. So it says, hello, my name, I did, and then I
And then she
changed.
switched it.
Because seller's guide comes second.
Okay, all right.
Okay, so 31 days of 31, so it's got my information, and then right below it is about who I am doing it for and why I'm doing it, okay? This goes to everybody who's going to be selling tickets, all right? So we're gonna kind of go into that a little bit more too. So then it says, this fundraiser is called 31 Days of 31, and here is how it works. Now, this is all math that I've done already, which I will go on to and explain it to you, but this is what this letter looks like. I've already figured out the math. So I have this letter, and so we have each person who's gonna be selling is gonna get a packet with 50 tickets in it. They are responsible. When they say that they are going to help sell, they are going to sell at least 50 tickets, okay? They're going to sell at least 50 tickets, and they're going to sell them at $10 a piece. So they are going to write me a check for at least $500. Okay? So if you are not able, if you get people who are like, I might be, I'll try. No. You are going to sell at least 50 tickets. And they will do it as long as it's something that means something to them. So I've learned from experience, I did one for Crohn's, and it was really hard. Sold for $5. We barely made $500 to donate to the organization because it was for a big company rather than an individual family. This family, I wrote a check for almost $2,000. Okay, so this is a family, this is personal. They're getting people who are going to support them and back them. So that's what you're looking for. You want to find those people. So, and then it kind of just goes through how it's done, and that you'll be collecting donation of $10. That word is very important because it's a tax write-off then. They're not purchasing a ticket, they're donating $10. Okay, and just because they're donating it, they're getting the chance at winning something. Just as a thank you. As a thank you, I'm going to go ahead and put your name into this drawing. So you're not in any gambling laws. That is at least within the state of Ohio and Pennsylvania. Check with your state. I am not an attorney. I don't understand gambling laws a whole lot, but I did research it for the state of Ohio and Pennsylvania. So
Jenica, just for the tax portion of it, don't suggest it being a tax write-off. It is not a federal tax write-off if it's for an individual.
It's a 501c3 organization to be deducted.
but if it's under a certain amount, they can just put it in on their taxes as a
I
donation.
handle that in tax law.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't put it as tax deduction.
Yeah.
It's still
At
a
least don't
donation.
promote it.
Just say donation.
I've always written mine off. Sorry. Okay. Okay. So
Don't need to promote it that way. It's their responsibility to prove it to the
Exactly.
IRS if they were under audit.
got it. Okay.
But don't tell them that it is.
Okay.
If they choose to add it.
I don't think I ever really do. I just say that you're making the donation. I don't then keep the receipt as a tax write-off. But I do tell people to make sure that they do keep that top part. But okay, so all money and tickets must be returned no later than I set a deadline, and they're going to make sure that all tickets and money is to me, so I can make that order on the 1st of. I made that order the 1st of July. Okay, we will draw all winners. I draw them all on the same day because otherwise I'll forget. So I just go first name out, that's day 1. Second name out, that's day 2, and I just write it on there. And then I contact all of them and say, congratulations, you're winner number 1, and this is what you've won.
Do you call them all at the same time, or do you wait until that day to call everybody? Like you call one person on the 1st, and one person on the 2nd, one
Nope.
person on the
I call
3rd.
it because I've already told them that I'm going to draw all names on the 1st.
So you call them all at the
Right.
same time.
And it also makes it easy because if you do it on a non-31 day month, it doesn't really matter. It's just 31 days. It's really just 31 days. And then right here here's what the Gilbert family and sellers will get. Okay. So this project profit for fundraiser is $3,000. That was our goal. We didn't quite meet it, but they were really excited over $2,000. This can only happen if we sell 470 tickets. So we will be breaking this up into 10 packets. So we had 10 sellers, and each person will get 50 tickets. If you can sell more than your required amount of tickets, that's awesome. Not only will the family get more money, but there's fabulous prizes for the top 4 sellers. So I then give hostess credits as the winners. Okay. The family that is doing we're doing the fundraiser for, if they're selling tickets, they get put in on that. Okay. If they're not selling tickets, they don't, and typically they're okay with that. Sometimes those top winners, they don't really want it. They want to give it to the family. So they'll just be like, oh, awesome, I won $175 in free product. Go ahead and transfer that over to the Gilbert family. And then they get the $175 in free product. This is hostess credits, okay? This is getting you to over a $1,600 party. So now the hostess exclusive items are free. There's 3 half price items. I don't really give those out. just because nobody really wants to buy a half price item. And it doesn't do anything for me, so it doesn't really matter. So I broke that down on a $1,600 party of how much they'll be getting in free product. Okay,
Wait,
yes.
can you go over again, how do you do these free product things? Because when I talked to you, I think you told me it was if they sold over the 50. Is that correct?
If
I'm still confused on this.
Okay, so where we were on that was if you have people who, and you're setting this is how many tickets you have to sell.
Right.
And they don't sell them, if they don't meet their goal, then that's up to the seller or the organizer to decide what they're going to do.
Okay.
Okay, so what we were saying was if each person didn't sell their 50, then they wouldn't hit this number, so then those wouldn't go to them. Is what we were talking about.
Okay.
But this, and you can put under here, subject to change, because it all depends on how big the party is, how many tickets are sold. And typically they're okay with that. Because if you end up having if you have the entire party and you sell out every monthly special, because you can do that, you're now going to be at over a $2,000 party. So those numbers are going to go up, okay? But this is at least the minimum for that party.
How do you go about selling out the monthly specials? I've been kind of racking my brain on that.
Monthly specials, I do it 2 different ways. I think we get into that.
So just because I want to make sure I have this right, apparently I'm sick. For this first place person, you're saying, so if everybody sold their 50, everyone sells the 50 they're supposed to sell, which probably is rare. How do you divide that out? How do you decide
sellers.
So if everybody only sells 50 tickets,
Then
I just
nobody-
pull a name out.
Oh,
First name out
Okay.
gets it. But if nobody hits that 50,
Then you go by who sold the most.
then I just make that decision with the person who's in
Okay.
charge of that.
Okay.
So they shouldn't really be rewarded if they don't hit the 50, right? They should.
So this is extra on top of the 31 items.
This is the sellers.
Thank you, because I'm like,
Seller
wait,
incentive.
okay,
So
got
the
it.
sellers are going to get the people who are working to sell those tickets. When you now
Yeah.
pull out your ticket really quick, because we'll story that. So on your ticket, at the top it says name, address, phone number, email, seller's name. Okay. So this is the part that I want back. I want this back because I want all of this information. The people who are doing the donation, they get to keep this calendar. So when I call and be like, congratulations, you won on day 16, Essential Storage Tote and Pocket. They're not going to know, they get something, if they get a Cindy tote, obviously they're not going to complain, or say, okay, so they get a Cindy tote and I send them a 31 umbrella, they're going to be like, I was number 15. And then I have to go back, oh, yeah, because they have this.
Right.
Okay, so I'm not cheating them. I'm not saying, oh, you have the chance of winning this, and I said everybody keep up, So, so you have this, okay? This is what the buyer gets to keep. This is what I get. So then I just total up how many people have sold the tickets, okay? So Heather's selling tickets. She sold 75 tickets. Jessica sold 125, and Amy's sold 70. Okay, so she's first place because she sold the most. You're second place, and you're third place. So now Jessica, you get $175 in free product. Heather gets 125, and Amy gets $100 in free product.
Yeah.
Do you have
I get it.
Yeah.
Do you ever have the sellers contact you and see if they're a high person?
Yeah, oh yeah. It becomes a competition. And I actually create a Facebook group event for it because then they can feed each other. Like, this is how many tickets I've sold. I had one girl on this. She sold 125 tickets. So she picked up the brunt of our fundraiser.
The
125
purpose
tickets.
of doing that is to motivate them to sell more than just that 50.
Because they want to get that. And if they don't, and if there's somebody who's like, I don't really want the 175, but I really want the family to get it, they know in their mind that they're thinking I'm the only person who wants to give that $175 back to that family. So I'm going to make sure that I am the top seller. I'm going to sell as many tickets as I want. And then I just, on that event group that I create on Facebook, I just put this ticket out. And I'm like, if you need more, go ahead and print them. because then they can print them as they need them. And then they just keep telling me, I've sold, this is how many I've sold, this is how many I've sold. So that's the ticket.
Do you
So
let
that-
them then pick their prints
Yes. For this, no.
for this? No. Okay.
For the things that are on here, no, I just pick, I do that. And I do say that there is no exchanges, there's no refunds, there's no returns, unless it's a defected item.
So if you're placing your order on the 1st of July, how are they picking?
I've already told them on June 30th who is the top seller. And they already know that they have to have they have to tell me what they want. And usually they have an idea of what they want.
And how do you work the hostess exclusives in on this?
Hostess exclusives are free. So in this case, I actually just gave them, you can either put them in here
Oh, okay.
or you can just give them to the family. And in this case, I gave them to the family. So
How do you do products, like, so for the winners, do they have to pick up their products, do you mail them out? Who pays for that?
for the winners of the tickets, I have them, they actually have to go to the seller, the family's house.
Okay.
So in this case, I packaged everything up. Amy and I did it after a conference, and I dropped some of them off with some of the local buyer or the local sellers, and then the rest of them went to the Gilbert family, and the Gilbert family made sure that they got into the correct hands.
Okay.
And then the seller of that ticket, they're in charge of making sure that those people
Yeah.
get their winning tickets or their winning products.
Makes sense.
I would mail them
So-
all and then just keep their receipt and tell the fundraising organization, like, because I'm in Michigan, this is how much it's gonna cost approximately. I'll give you the exact number. And then they're usually, because of the profit margin, they're usually okay being like, okay, here's an extra $200 for shipping. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's really not that bad.
Yeah, and it's really that's one way of doing it. If I can get away with not taking money out of the family, I don't want to be able to. I would much rather drive it just because I don't want to be pulling money from a fund that is more
And the Biddle family either.
So-
And or like,
organizations, and that's a little bit different.
so that's different.
Yeah.
But
So you don't have any numbers or anything on this paper.
Not like ticket number 42.
So whatever you're pulling out your tickets, you're just
Their names.
they're all in a
A large
31
a
tote.
large utility
And
bill,
you're
I videoed
starting
myself
up?
doing it.
You
First one is
videotape yourself doing
yeah,
it.
because I don't want them to be like you lying.
I was just gonna say, how are you not gonna get someone say you're lying? You pulled 3 names to get that
Yeah,
first
because
one.
my
out.
first one I had one person win 4 times.
Oh.
Yeah. But he also bought a lot of tickets. So so I videoed myself and
Do you still
I
videotape
still
yourself?
do, yeah. And I will sometimes put it up on the Facebook group event, or if somebody says, "Can you prove that?" You really don't, because people they're not really doing it. They're really
I
not
mean,
doing it for the product.
That's
in
true.
the long
You're
run.
right. Yeah, honestly.
They're really
yeah.
just doing it for
I
the
get
family.
And I did this, but it was the first time we were doing it with this spa. And I said this yesterday, we did not meet the ticket sales. And I had just displayed the products that they could win, but we didn't have anything on a calendar. So with the money that came in, we were like, okay, what can we spend without anybody losing money
Yeah.
and still give the family
A little bit.
like we went out and bought presents. And I gave the family a couple things out of the hostess stuff, but it was stuff I already had in my kit or was giving rid of anyway. So.
Right.
It was
So-
a different way.
Okay. You guys ready to write down some math?
Yeah.
And then we'll go back to the seller's guide.
Jared's alive. This is a girl. No, Jared is not here. Kyra.
Just in case.
Is that the same for all funders?
Do you find you
It changes every time you change your calendar.
do you make more of a profit for the family if it's a family or if it's like an organization?
Family, way more.
Especially if you're in a small town.
I've had pretty good luck with organizations.
You can move
Like,
it
I don't
back.
What are we looking for on our,
Okay, so we're gonna do 31 days of 31 days math,
oh.
okay? So
Take
this
pictures.
is where it kind of gets a little fun, okay? Because shopping through the catalog is always great, right? Everybody's got things in the catalog that they kind of wish they had. So that's what you're doing. So basically what you're doing while you're creating your calendar is you're going through and you're finding things that are of great value. You don't want anything to total less than $25. I think most of my stuff is 35 and under. And when I've done them in the past, and I've done it over. Yeah, 35 and over. I did one with the Perfect Thermal. I think it was on sale at one point, and I did a fundraiser with it, and I put a bunch of them in there, but I paired them with like an organizing utility tote, the blanket, and then I threw in a bottle of wine, because now you're gonna have a date set, and it's equaling more, so you can add things to it. So when you're going through, you want to go on to Google and print out a calendar with whatever month that you're going to be running this for. So say you're going to do it for the month of January, you're going to pull a January calendar, and then you're going to pull out your catalog, and you're going to just start writing in each square different products that you want for each thing. And then you're going to put down the value of it, because they want to see what that $10 could potentially get them, okay? So then you do your total products. I find it a lot easier now to just go in and create that order already in back office. Just log into back office. Once I have my calendar done, just go into back office and I put in all of those items. So now I have my order. I know how much shipping is and how much tax is going to be. So whatever, for us it's 6%, so whatever yours is. That's now your total of your products, okay? So my example is $1,506. That's how much my party was, okay? So $120.48 was shipping, $109.79 is tax. I needed $1,737 in my hand in order to cover the cost of products, okay? So now you're gonna go product plus target amount. So this is where talking to whoever you're doing the fundraiser for is gonna come in handy. So say you're sitting down with a family, you're doing a family, and they need money to pay for medical bills. They're comfortable with you now, so you can ask them, how much do you need in medical, like how much do you have in medical bills that you need to cover? And they say, really, ideally, I would like to have at least $4,000. Okay, so you take your total cost of your product, so that's $1,737, plus that $4,000, okay, I did $3,000, let's go back to $3,000, plus the $3,000, I need $4,737 coming in, okay? Everybody following me so far? Does that make sense? Okay. So now we're gonna do number of tickets needed to be sold. This is also where you're gonna be talking to that person, because you're gonna find out how many people she can rely on to help sell those tickets, okay? So you're going to decide how much you're gonna charge. I find $10 to be really easy for people. $10 will do it. $5 if depending on your area, but it takes more tickets, obviously. You're gonna need more people, you're gonna need more tickets to be sold. So I kind of compare the two, and I'm like, but do you have 20 people or 10 people that are willing to sell? I have 10, okay. Then you're gonna sell those for $10 because, you know, now you don't have to worry about it. So you're gonna take what do you need to make, so that's 4737 divided by how many tickets, okay? So that tells me, so you're seeing, or how much the ticket has cost. So you have 4,737 divided by 5, that's 947 tickets need to be sold, okay? Or 473 divided by 10, that's 473 tickets sold. It's a lot easier to sell 500 tickets than it is to sell 1,000, right? So how many people? So now you're going down to the next level and you're gonna do number of tickets that you're gonna need. This is what you're trying to figure out, and your number of sellers, and this is how many tickets need to be sold. So you need to sell, because I decided I'm gonna sell them for $10 a piece. So I need 474 tickets, because I rounded up, and I'm gonna sell them for $10 each. Or, yeah, 10 people, I have 10 sellers. Okay, does that make sense? So 474 tickets divided by 10 sellers, each person has to sell 47.4 tickets. I round it up to 50. I just give them 50 tickets. It's a good, round, even, easy number. Okay, so that's how you get how many tickets need to be sold, for how much, and how many people. Does everybody follow that?
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions? Is your mind spinning? Okay. So rewards. Once you figure out what your party will end up at by using your back office, so putting in those orders, you can then determine your prizes for top sales. I typically do the top 3 will get credit, the next 3 will get hostess exclusive, and the next 3 will get half price. That's how I do it for most of them. I decided to not do it like that because you kind of just play it by ear on how many. Okay. So
yeah, because you only had 10 sellers. So if you did 3, 3, and 3, whatever, everybody would be getting something except one person.
right.
Can I ask a question? You have 3 half price items. Why wouldn't you use them in your prizes?
I do sometimes.
Okay.
It kind of, this is just
work it out.
yeah.
Okay.
This is just you can.
Okay.
That's completely up to you on how you want to do it. You can
All
break that credit up however you want.
Okay.
You can just say you're gonna get nothing, and I'm just gonna give it to the family. You can do it however you want, but I've done it like that in the past. It's worked, but I find people are like, I don't really want the half price item, so they'll just pass on it. So then I started putting it into the calendar. But you don't want to utilize that too much because you want to boost up your PV.
Right.
Yeah. So you want to make sure your PV is high.
Okay.
So tips. So selling off your monthly tickets or your monthly specials. You can sell those tickets. You can sell those monthly specials to the tickets buyers. So those people who are making that $10 donation, the person who is selling or who is collecting those donations, she can have that monthly special flyer, and because you were so sweet and you were willing to make that donation, I'm also offering you this monthly special at no additional cost. It's yours for $5. I'm like, oh, thanks. So then on that ticket, she's gonna write ordered monthly special for whatever, and then I get that money for it.
And that's extra money that wasn't counted in.
Okay. So still boosting up my personal volume.
Sell more than, you can't oversell.
Right. So I'll tell them how many so I'll know how many specials are available. So I can give each person who's selling tickets, I can say, you have up to 5 monthly specials that you can offer up. If none of them sell them, then I say to the seller, would you like to have any of them? Or do you know somebody that would like to have them?
Do you tell your sellers that they have to sell all 50 tickets before they can get the specials?
Because
if not, what if they sell, you're giving them 50 tickets, they sell 25 of them and say they want their 5 specials?
Because when I do that is I also know exactly what the bare minimum is. So if I go back here, I have to at least sell 174 tickets. That's all I have to sell in order to cover the cost of product.
Okay.
So any amount of tickets over the 174 tickets is profit for the family.
Okay, I get you.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I understand.
So as long as which they're going to do that, because I'm giving them that goal of 50, that only comes into play really, and if they're going to get the rewards, the hostess rewards. So if they only sell 48 tickets, they're going to be in the lower pole of the top site.
I get you. Okay.
With the specials, if there's $1,500 in product, there's 42, almost 43 specials available. So if there's 10 sellers, each seller could sell 4 specials.
Yes. Yeah. So they can sell off those monthly specials.
Or they can buy them.
Or they can buy them themselves. Right. Or what I've also done is I've turned that into a completely separate fundraiser.
Right.
So, and how I've done that, I think I talked about that maybe. Yeah, so selling off extra specials for additional fundraisers. This can be a great way to make an impact, greater impact. If you want to do if you want to do a bag filled with something, you can sell it for just a little bit more than the cost of the item. So if it's like a thermal tote for, I don't know how much do we sell it, like $10, you can sell it for $15. And then that extra $5 will go to fill those bags. And then you can just donate them to, there's a long list of different things that you can do with those bags. I did thermal totes and large utility totes. So you can do a fundraiser on top of a fundraiser. Does that make sense? Does everybody understand that? Or you can just sell off those monthly specials. But that's boosting up your personal volume. Now, when you're doing the boosting up of the personal volume, I don't then go back and re-alter the credit that's been earned. Okay, so this is what they've earned, or what they can earn, the 175. Yeah, the 175, 125, 100, 150. That's off of, I don't even know what, a $1,500 party. So if they end up selling off all those specials and it ends up being
Another $400.
yeah, I'm not going to add that in. I'm just going to give that to the family. Okay, so that credit's going to go to that family. Because then it just gets washy and hard and messy and complicated. Okay, does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions about the math aspect of things? No? I know it's a lot. Okay, so then I send the seller. So once I find out who the sellers are, I do the seller's guide, fundraiser in a nutshell. This is going to tell them what they have to do. And so I just did Emma. I did little Emma. Her favorite color is purple. So I went to the dollar store and I bought, we had actually ended up with 15 sellers. So I bought 15 folders and I printed each one of them this cover letter, the 31 days of 31, here's that letter, and I printed them enough, the 50 calendars. So I gave them 50 calendars. I also gave them a catalog and a monthly special flyer. Okay, so they had everything that they could possibly need to sell their bare minimum. And then they were all on Facebook, so I was like, and if you need any more, you can do that, okay? So in this nutshell, you're gonna get one catalog, 50 raffle tickets, the fundraiser instructions, and my business cards. I'll throw in business cards to hand out to people as well, okay? I don't have on there the monthly special flyer, but I include that. And then it tells them what they have to do. Each person is required to sell at least 46 tickets. If you sell more than that, great. I will send them to you ASAP. If this was, if they didn't have access to it and they needed them, if they weren't on Facebook, I would send them to them in an email file usually, because by the time I printed them off and sent them out, they probably would have lost that already. When you sell a ticket, make sure you take the portion with the contact info and they keep the bottom half with the calendar. Participants must return their ticket stubs and money in order to be entered for the giveaway. We will be drawing on the 31st. We will be drawing all names on July 1st. Okay, so now they know that that's how it's going to happen. Deadlines. This is so important because if you don't have this, you're going to be chasing people down. So all ticket stubs and money must be turned in by June 30th, no later. Top seller orders must be in by July 2nd, no later. So I give them that extra day. I will submit the prize and orders on July 2nd. So that's when I did that. All top sellers will be announced and contacted on June 30th. You must have your selection picked by July 2nd at noon. I even have times. And if they do not have that by noon, and I've sent them text messages or I've sent them emails or called them, and I still don't hear from them, you have forfeited, and now I will contact that family and say, you have $175 in credit. You have until 5 o'clock to let me know what you would like. Okay? They forfeited it. I'm sorry. You've had this paper for a month. you know what you got to do. If you don't do it, then that just tells me that you really don't want it. And then it tells them what we will be raising. So now they know what they're working towards. If we sell at least 470 tickets, we will raise $3,000 for the Gilbert family. Also, for every person that books and holds a party with me as a result of this fundraiser, I will donate an additional $20 to the foundation. So for every party that I had, I just threw in an extra $20.
How many parties did you get?
Off of this one, I got, well, one potential recruit, the mama, and I told her that whatever parties that were going to be coming in from it, they were hers. So, but I'm still going to donate. I still donate. I always typically will donate whatever, because that's why I do this. So I usually write a check for additional, like at least $100 to the family. So it's kind of like, yeah, $20, but really I'm still gonna do it anyways. But it's kind of like an incentive for them to be like, would you like to book a party with her? So prizes for the top 4 sellers, and then there's the top, what they're going to earn. So now they're seeing, oh, sweet. And in Ohio, that's for real free. Like, you don't have to pay tax on free products in Ohio. So a lot of my fundraisers, I just send them to Ohio to my mama. Like, I'll pick them up. So yeah. So that's literally, they pay nothing out of their pocket.
And no shipping.
And no shipping, right? So that tells them, and then delivery. Products will be delivered to me. If I can help it, they will be delivered to me. I will tag each product with the day that they are going to be given away. Once they are tagged, I will deliver them to you, and you will do the drawing. That's how I did that one, because I didn't have all the tickets. Because they were from, we had California, New York, 2 people in Hawaii, 1 in Alaska. They were all over the place selling tickets, so I'm like, I just don't want to deal with it. But typically, I will have them shipped to me, or I'll collect them, and I'll staple them, that ticket winner name and information on the back. So then, good luck with the fundraiser. Remember to have fun. I will be here every step of the way, and I also sell tickets with you. But I put the family's name on those tickets. So every ticket that I sell went to the Gilbert family, and I sell them at every one of the parties. So that's 31 days of 31. Does that make sense? And you're like, you just talk so fast, I have no idea what you just said.
So you said that you had people all over the country buying tickets, and those people won. How did you get them there?
The person who, well, in that case, what I ended up doing is I contacted that seller, and I told her, and she paid for the shipping cost. I was like, you have 4 people who won. This is how much it's going to be in shipping. How do you want to do that? Because to me, I don't really want to pay it, because that's still taking money out of what I would donate to the family, because I can't afford to do a whole lot. Like, I'm still doing this for myself too. But I also don't want to take from that check that I get to write to that family. And they're like, oh, okay. And it's not usually a whole lot. Like, my big ticket buyers or winners are going to be local, because they're the ones that are going to be buying more tickets, because they know the family a little bit better. Anybody else have questions? So I'm going to talk really quick on bingo, because you had talked about doing a bingo event just as a party. I do them as fundraisers. And so I'm going to talk about them just really quick. I'm going to try it. So my bingo events, I find a family, and they typically don't know that I have found them. My last one was at Christmas time. I did Carson Tate. He's a 5-year-old little boy who has leukemia. He's been battling leukemia since he was, I think it was 1 when he got sick. So my mom was talking about him. His mom gets her hair done at the salon, and she's like, oh, this little boy. And I have kids, so I'm like, oh, no kid should ever have to go through that. And I just kept feeling like I needed to do something. And then I started following them on Facebook, and I found out that he had an older sister. And I was like, oh, I bet she kind of gets lost in the shuffle. And they were trying to do fundraisers, and they were doing them, but they weren't coming through very well. So I went and this is how I've done all of my fundraisers back in my hometown. I will go to all of the local businesses in that town, and I say, doing another bingo event. Who wants to donate? And every shop in my hometown will make a donation. So they'll do like $10 off, just a $10 coupon, a free wreath, a free brake changes. Just every shop that I can go into and tell them that this is what we're doing, and we will do a mini commercial for you. So then we get people to start coming to those events because they're talking about at their shops, they're putting up signs and they're passing out flyers and they're telling people when and where and how much to get in. And it's $10 to get in. And what that gets you is it gets you 2 bingo cards and 1 raffle ticket. Okay? Then they can buy more bingo cards, and they can use I let them use their bingo cards over and over and over again. So they can buy more bingo cards, and then they can also buy more raffle tickets. So it's $2 for 4 tickets or $5 for an arm length. And they always buy multiple arm lengths because, hey, why not? So that money that I'm collecting goes into a big pool, and that money that's what is donated to the family, and how we do that. So each bingo game is sponsored by one of those businesses. I'm still not giving product away. I'm still not giving up money. This is just something, it works. So be like, okay, first game is going to be sponsored by the photography studio. He has a $175 gift card that he wants to give away to one of you who's ready to play bingo. Let's play bingo.
Is that your commercial?
They'll tell me if there's something that they want to be said.
Okay.
I actually raffle him off. I'll be like, because he looks like my daughter calls him the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. You know, when he turns into human, he's got the long ponytail, but he's a lot cuter. And he'll do anything for anybody.
I was wondering where that was going. He looks like the Beast.
He looks like the Beast, but nobody's the Beast.
What?
What shop is this?
The photography studio in downtown. And he's an amazing photographer, and I love him to pieces, but he will do anything for anybody. So I'm like, so not only do you get a $175 gift card to get your picture taken with him, but he'll come mow your lawn without his shirt on. And they're going to be like, yeah! And he doesn't know what I just did. I'm like, you're going to have to mow a lawn without your shirt on. He's like, okay. His wife thinks it's hilarious, and she comes to these events, and she's like, I'm not playing this game. I'm going to sit this one out. So they are playing for those things. Okay, so, and I'll do products. I'll throw in, gift cards, whatever, as we're going through. Have my products set up on another table. So it is still a 31 event, but I'm not really giving away a whole lot because I don't want to be spending a lot of money. Okay, I just don't have it to do it, so I just don't want to be doing it. So each game is sponsored by a shop, okay? And then we have a big the raffle drawing. So we'll have 15 shops will donate to us. We'll play 5 games. The rest of we'll actually play 8 games on that. The rest of that will go into a deluxe utility tote with other random things that I have that are left over in my kit or I bought on special that I just want to get rid of, plus a gift card. And all of that goes into that. That's the grand prize. That's the raffle tickets. And they go, oh, I'll take 5 more arm lengths. Okay, all right, let's do this. More arm lengths and of tickets. My mom raffles off cheesecake. Like we do cheesecakes. We do anything that we can raffle off. My mom is the cheesecake lady.
And it's good. It is good. I've had it. It's good cheesecake.
Anything we can raffle off, we will raffle it off, and they will buy it. And so that's then what we do with all that money that we've collected. I can either buy products for that family with it, buy a couple things. Everybody that comes to that party will be placing an order because they know it's a 31 event. They know that this money is going in the products and all of that stuff. And my commission, because I do give up a little bit of commission on that, does go back to the family. So the Carson Tate family, they never found out about it, which kind of still blows my mind to this day that they still didn't know what we were doing, because it was our biggest fundraiser. It turned out to be a $900 party from the customers or from the bingo players alone. And then I bought the family, I added in a couple more items because I wanted to make sure that the little girl got some stuff. I wanted them to get things with personalization on it. So I put in a few little things, used all the hostess credits to then also get things from mom and dad. Then that pot, I went and I bought $150 gift cards for each of the kids and $150 gift cards for each of the parents. So the kids got Toys R Us gift cards and the parents got Visa gift cards. Put it in it was in a large utility tote all together. Said the Taters, because they're called the Tater Clan. So I put the Taters on it and filled it all up, and we ding-donged and ditched and left on the front porch. And it had I had like a little note in there. God bless, and we're praying for you. Merry Christmas. Since then, I have all of those people who've heard about that are now my customers, and the family's my customer. It wasn't my intention. That's not my intention. It's a perk, but that's not my intention. My intention is to give back without giving up a whole lot of my commission. So there's different ways of doing those things. So those are my 2 fundraisers that work really well. My first bingo event like that wasn't as successful. We didn't make very much, but we do it on a regular basis. And now those businesses are like, oh, okay, another bingo event. I'll give you more. I'll do more. I'll do more for you. And then more and more people hear about them. The Carson Tate one, we had 35 people show up. So that was a pretty good turnout. So, but those are my 2 different fundraisers. Does anybody have any questions about?
How did you advertise that fundraiser without them?
Word of mouth. Her mother probably, yeah.
Every shop had signs, and that's why I can't believe that they didn't find out. Because I'm like, just pass them a little. Like I had postcards, and I also had bigger sheets for them to put on their desk. And I was like, if they're coming into your shop, please make sure that you hide that. I didn't want them to
have their names.
Yeah, it had the Tater Clan fundraiser for Carson. Had a picture of him, a little bit of a story about Carson, and then like why we were doing it, who was all going to benefit from that. So we did advertise really. We did do it well. Every shop, and they're now invested because they're going to be getting business out of this too. Because they've got a $10 gift card. They're going to come in and they're going to spend that $10 and they're going to shop around. They may have never been there before, and now they're a customer. Now they've got a new customer. So it's very beneficial for the whole community.
It's a small community. That's why I don't understand how they wouldn't have known.
Well, he lived kind of on the outskirts, and they don't leave the house very often because he was really sick at the time. So they didn't come in a whole lot, and everybody who knew what was going on, they knew that they weren't supposed to say anything, because then they would be like, they would feel obligated. I felt like I didn't want them to feel like they had to come, or I just
do something
to help out, or like I just wanted it to be something nice and for them to get, because I think every once in a while somebody deserves to get a little surprise gift in the so. Okay, I'm done talking.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Also,